If you've been looking at the Abu Dhabi real estate market over the last 12 months, then I'm sure you would have had a look at Al Hudayriat Island. This isn't just one plot or project that we're looking at, this is our master planned island developed by one of the biggest government-backed developers in Abu Dhabi. A little bit about the island is that it's 51 kilometers squared in terms of size. It's an island that is already active, so it already has several amenities on the island. It has a bridge to connect over, roads connecting certain areas, but it doesn't really have residential units. There is units coming to the market and have already sold out off plan. What makes it quite unique to other opportunities is the vast scale size of the project, but that it's already active. Many off-plan projects that you look at, it is just dust as such, so it doesn't have the infrastructure around it and the planning in place for what Al Hudayriat Island does. As we mentioned, this isn't just done by a new sort of private developer, it is done by a government-backed developer in Modon, so you have that backing that this is a long-term project for Abu Dhabi. This removes one of the biggest risks in real estate, which is execution and financing. I'll show you a quick video on screen now that shows some of the infrastructure that's already in place for the island and what we can expect for the future. Here we have the master plan for Hudayriat Island. Not all the residential units are in place yet, but this is the planning that they have currently and the infrastructure that's already here. So on the left hand side you can see that the beaches run around the whole of the island. Up the top here we do have the equestrian village, then we have a large park. Further to that, 18-hole championship golf course. Some of the main attractions on Hudayriat at the moment are Surf Abu Dhabi. You've then got 321 Sports, which is the largest indoor sports dome in the Middle East. And then we also have the Velodrome Abu Dhabi. There's 3 hospitals shown currently on the map on Hudayriat, and then further to that down here we do have the retail in the sort of marina section of the map. A lot of the island is still unconfirmed for the infrastructure around here, and up here you can see another 18-hole championship golf course, but so many amenities guided towards wellness on the island. So pretty special, the destination itself and what it's going to have to offer, and what's good about this is the location is also fantastic. You're looking at around a 10-minute drive to Abu Dhabi city centre, around 20 to 25 minutes to Saadiyat, and around 20 to 25 minutes to Reem Island, which is quite rare with an island this size of land not developed on in Abu Dhabi, but now being picked up by a government-backed developer. It's really positive signs. In terms of scarcity of products, so Abu Dhabi is known for launching substantially less off-plan projects than Dubai. So this alone is a positive. There's not many options off-plan when it comes to Abu Dhabi, but for something like this is completely unique. A government-backed developer with this plot of land, and the project's targeted towards something completely different than what's available in the market. It's targeted towards sort of wellness and lifestyle, which is different to other communities that you have standing in Abu Dhabi. This video here shows you the majority of the unit types and what's available on the island. There has been quite a range of different projects, so watch this video here and you can understand what projects may potentially work for you if you are considering. Talk about unit types and product that Modon have here on Hudayriat. There is several different options. So on the left hand side here we have Nawayef West Hill. So the hill is a man-made sort of hill from Modon. You can see here there's several different unit types on it, and you can see each individual unit, where it's placed and how many their units are going to be on the street, etc. So this ranges from 4 to 8 bedroom villas and mansions. The largest mansions are huge. They are up to around 30,000 square foot built up area with a 30,000 plot roughly. They can go up to around 70 million dirhams, and the entry sort of villas, they launched at around 6.8 to 7 million dirhams. As launches have gone on, prices have increased for this sort of product in Hudayriat. Next to that you have the village. So amongst the village you have townhouses and villas, and then you also have apartments here in the centre. You then have West Hill, which is essentially a repeat of East Hill, which is essentially a repeat of West Hill. And then further to that, you have the Al Naseem community. Currently, there is still some options directly with the developer. With Al Naseem, these two, Nawayef and the village, have both sold out very, very quickly. So there's a few options left in Al Naseem, which again is a standalone villa community. Sort of the average price here is around 9 to 10 million, 4 to 6 bedrooms. And then on the right hand side here we have Wadim, which is different. So Modon sold the plots here. So they've sold individual plots with planning permissions rather than individual units. Lastly, worth mentioning, you have Bashayer residences on the front, you have apartment blocks here, and then on the other side you do have villas that are sort of waterfront villas. So real range of products for you to invest in, all at completely different price points of course, and more products to come. As you can see here, all of this area has not launched, and then we've still got some units to launch around here. So more to come on Hudayriat, but currently this is what's available. You may be looking at a resale market for some options. However, there might be still some options directly with the developer. Not only can you see the units that are in the projects, you can actually get a virtual walkthrough. So if we go into this unit here, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest mansion on top of the hill here, you can actually enter VR mode and have a look here to see how the unit's going to look internally and what you can expect in terms of if it was furnished and how the unit would feel. So you can see here that you've got multiple floors, you can see the built up area, the plot size, etc. And you can move between the rooms to understand how your unit would actually look. This is great for if you are buying directly with the developer off plan. It helps you pick your unit type and also understand what sort of views you may get from the unit. You can do this for their other projects. It's not just this one unit. You can select really any unit that you would like. As mentioned there, there's everywhere from apartments all the way up to mansions that can be upwards of 70 million dirhams. So a market here for everyone, which is exciting if you are looking to get onto this island. When you look at prices here, again, different prices for each product, but the apartments is one I like to focus on just to understand how it compares to other areas. You've got the Bashayer residences that are around 1,700 to 2,300 dirhams per square foot. It does depend again on the view that you have on the unit, as they do sit directly on the water. You're looking at projects that are around 2,500 to 3,000 dirham per square foot for sort of comparable options. In Saadiyat, it's going to be substantially more expensive again. And then in Fahid Island, which is another off-plan option coming up, again, you're looking at a higher price per square foot in that area. So super attractive. Yes, it is a little bit away from the likes of Yas and Saadiyat, which are potentially considered the main tourist areas, but you are still only 10 minutes away from the city centre. You're just over the sort of backside of Abu Dhabi, you could say. I have done a video for Yas Residences by Manchester City and developed by Ohana. This project was quite similar. It had apartments directly on the water of Yas Canal, but not directly on Yas Island. So the price per square foot here was slightly higher, around 2,300, 2,400. So again, does look like there is value here and a space in the market for Bashayer. Obviously, every product is unique on Abu Dhabi and it does offer you something different, but pricing is certainly attractive. When you compare this to the villas, let's say the Al Naseem villas, you're looking at around 12 to 1,300 dirham per square foot versus the likes of Yas Acres, which is potentially a comparable project, which is around 14 to 1,700 dirham per square foot. Then again, you have Saadiyat Lagoons, which is another comparable project potentially that we could look at, which is around 1,600 dirhams per square foot. So a little bit room there between the main sort of islands in Abu Dhabi and what's being offered here on Al Hudayriat. But most importantly, it is a different product. It's not the same as what you're getting on Yas, for example, which is the tourism island, whereas Al Hudayriat is focused for wellness, lifestyle, and it offers a whole master plan. The risks for me is that this is a massive project for them to take on. So Modon do have a huge island where they need to complete all the infrastructure, all the residential units, and make everything work perfectly. We have seen this done by many different developers across the time in the United Arab Emirates, but it is just a long-term project. If you are investing here, you should be investing long-term, and it definitely requires some patience. As I say, this is a unique product and something special in the market, and do personally love the project myself. So if you are considering investing across UAE, whether that's Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or Ras Al Khaimah, then click the link below and we can discuss in more detail the perfect investment for you.